Why was there an economic meltdown? A powerful telepath can overhear the conversations of political and economic leaders from thousands of miles away and thus get glimpses of future plans. However, even without telepathy and prophetic visions, one should be able to read Bible prophecy and see the future. The Holy Bible says the Antichrist will be a global economic dictator. It is obvious that the radical rich want to destroy unions, offshore American jobs, and gain more money and power for themselves until they are the economic dictators of America. It is also obvious that the radical rich in all nations want a World Trade Organization global economic dictatorship of the radical rich, which will be ruled by the Antichrist. Even without telepathy and prophetic visions, that should be obvious. One should not have to telepathically look into the hearts and minds of the radical rich to see their conspiracy. Look at the evidence that greedy and power-hungry people will harm others for their own selfish gains. When scientists working for tobacco companies said that cigarettes are not habit-forming, they were paid to lie. When scientists working for oil companies said that there is no global warming, they were paid to lie. And when economists working for the super-rich say that unregulated free trade capitalism is the best economic system, they are lying. Scientists and economists are not that stupid. They can be trusted to be smart, but they cannot be trusted to be honest and tell the truth. Chemistry and biology proves that cigarettes are habit-forming. Light refraction science proves that CO2 is a greenhouse gas. And simple economics and economic psychology proves that unregulated free trade capitalism is a failed economic model that destroys the middle class. The economic meltdown in America did not happen because economists were too stupid. It did not happen by accident. It happened by design. And America will continue to be economically destroyed unless Americans demand an immediate end to unregulated free trade capitalism. So why is America being economically destroyed? Because the radical rich in America want America to be economically destroyed. They believe that if millions of Americans are made jobless, homeless, foodless, and dead, then Americans will be desperate and will be willing to accept economic slavery to survive. The radical rich are communists and want to establish a communist economic dictatorship ruled by them. The John Birch Society has pointed out that communism first rose to power because it was secretly financed by the super-rich. And today, the super-rich are financing the rise to power of communist China. Realize that communism is not socialism. Socialism actually helps the poor. The American economic system is partly socialism. Social Security for retired workers, unemployment insurance, and food stamps are all examples of socialism. When you retire, lose your job, or need food to eat, then socialism is good. On the other hand, communism oppresses the poor. Read the book The New Class by Militant Digest on how communism becomes the new class of oppressors of the poor. In my book and online booklets, I show that communism is economic dictatorship. Whether the economic dictators are called the vanguard of the proletariat or free trade capitalist, economic dictatorship is economic dictatorship. Why are the super-rich in America using unregulated free trade to finance the rise to power of communist China if they are against communism? Because they want America to become a communist economic dictatorship where prisoners have to sell their organs to pay for their stay in prison and child slave labor is legal. Their goal is to establish super-rich communism or economic dictatorship of the super-rich in every nation on earth. They then want to establish a global economic dictatorship ruled by the super-rich that has power over every nation on earth. If all nations on earth are forced to sign a global free trade treaty monitored by the World Trade Organization, then that will be the first step toward a global economic dictatorship. The final step will be when the head of the World Trade Organization is revealed to be the Antichrist and enslaves all world citizens. There is hope. America does not have to be a part of that global economic dictatorship. If the American people have the courage to march in the streets and demand an immediate end to unregulated free trade capitalism, then America can be saved. Every American can be quickly given a good paying job. Americans can once again have a high standard of living, but Americans must show the same patriotism as Patrick Henry when he said, "Give me liberty or give me death."